Absolutely, here's a powerful, emotionally charged opening in the style of Eric Thomas, designed to grab your audience immediately and convince them to stay locked in for the entire speech. Listen to me real close, this ain't no motivation. This is a warning. I need you to understand something before we go any further. The version of you that's been playing small, the one that's been waiting, doubting, second, guessing, making excuses, that version of you has got to die. Yeah, I said it, that version of you, that weak, lazy, fearful, comfortable version. That version is the reason you keep waking up tired of your own life. That version is why people don't take you seriously. That version is the reason you can't recognize your own reflection anymore, not because you've changed, but because you've stayed the same. You want to become unrecognizable. You want people to stop putting you in the same box they always have. You want to stop being overlooked, underestimated, and ignored, then kill the excuses, kill the laziness, kill the fear. Reinvent yourself, not next week, not tomorrow, today. Don't scroll, don't tap away, lock in. Because what I'm about to give you in the next few minutes ain't just words, this is the blueprint. This is the mindset. This is the fight plan for your breakthrough. I'm not talking to your ears, I'm talking to your spirit. So if you're ready to stop playing with your potential, if you're ready to burn the old you to the ground, if you're ready to walk into the world with a new name, a new fire, a new identity, then listen with your chest. Listen with your pain, listen with your dreams, because this is how you become unrecognizable. You keep saying you want a new life. You keep talking about dreams, goals, purpose, but the truth is, you're dragging your old self into a future that won't recognize you. And that's the problem. You can't evolve if you're still holding on to the same mindset, the same habits, the same weak story. I'm telling you, you can't take the old you into the new season, that version of you. The one that procrastinates, makes excuses, blames everybody else. That version is expired. It's done. And until you're willing to burn it down, you'll never rise up into who you were meant to be. Stop negotiating with your limitations. Stop protecting the parts of you that are holding you back. Some of y'all are defending your excuses like they're facts. I didn't grow up with money. I'm not naturally talented. I'm too old now. Let me ask you something. How long you gonna keep rehearsing that story? How long you gonna keep dragging that victim mentality around like it's a trophy? At some point, you gotta realize that it's not your environment, it's not your circumstances, it's not your background, it's your mindset. It's the identity you're refusing to let go of. That's what's killing your future. You weren't born to live a recycled version of your past. You were born to reinvent, to evolve, to stretch. But you can't do that if you keep waking up as the same person every day. The same thinking, the same fear, the same doubt. You gotta look at that version of you and say, nah, you don't get to run the show anymore. That version of you has been calling the shots too long. And it's cost you opportunities. It's cost you growth. It's cost you time. You think you're waiting on life, but life's been waiting on you to finally get serious. Burn the old identity. Set fire to the lies you've been telling yourself. That voice in your head that says you're not good enough, burn it. That comfort zone that keeps whispering, just take it easy today, burn it. That weak self-image that was built off of failure, rejection, and fear, burn it, because as long as you keep giving that voice a seat at the table, you'll never be able to build the life you were designed for. People always say they want to be successful, but they're scared of what it takes to get there. Because real success isn't just about what you do, it's about who you become. And becoming someone new requires that you bury who you used to be. That's the hard truth. You can't skip that part. You can't become unrecognizable until you first become unacceptable to the old version of yourself. You gotta make that old identity so uncomfortable so out of place that it can't survive in your new mindset. Let me tell you something. If your goals don't require you to transform, they're not big enough. If your dream doesn't scare your current self, it ain't your real dream. It's just a fantasy you tell yourself to feel better. The real dream requires death before rebirth. The real dream demands sacrifice, discomfort, and discipline. And it starts by cutting ties with who you used to be. Some of y'all are trying to walk into a new chapter with characters that belong in the last one. That's why nothing changes. That's why you stay stuck. You've been asking for a breakthrough, but you're still showing up like the broken version. You keep begging for elevation, but you're holding on to anchors. You want the next level, but you're still thinking with level 1 mentality. Here, me identity determines outcome. If you keep identifying as the person who fails, who quits, who starts but doesn't finish, then guess what? That's exactly what you'll do. Not because you can't win, but because you never gave yourself permission to stop losing. And the crazy thing is, you already know what needs to go. You've known. It's not a mystery. You know the behavior, the attitude, the people, the distractions, the patterns. You know what's killing your momentum. You've just been too afraid to cut it off. But you can't afford to keep walking around in a body that doesn't house the mindset of a winner. You've got to gut it, strip it down, kill it off, because the next version of you can't be built on top of broken foundations. This ain't about motivation. This is about identity. This is about becoming the kind of person who no longer tolerates mediocrity, who no longer dances with excuses, who no longer accepts anything less than purpose-driven greatness. So don't tell me you want it. Show me by becoming someone new, someone relentless, someone unrecognizable. Burn the old you, because the new you is waiting. Everybody wants change until it's time to do the work. Everybody wants the glow up, the success, the transformation. But they don't want the system. They want emotion. They want to feel motivated. They want to get fired up off a video or a quote. But let me tell you right now, motivation fades. Emotion dies, and hype don't build legacy. You don't become unrecognizable by feeling your way into greatness. You do it by disciplining your way there. I don't care how pumped you are right now. I don't care how loud you clap or how hard you scream, I want this. If you don't build the kind of system that outworks your feelings, you'll lose, period. Because feelings are liars. Some days you're going to wake up tired. Some days you're going to wake up discouraged. Some days life's going to hit you so hard, your only instinct will be to crawl back into bed and quit. But that's when the real ones rise. That's when the ones who have structure, routine, and grit keep pushing, not because they feel like it, but because that's just who they are now. Discipline isn't something you turn on, and off it's something you become. It's not something you do when it's convenient. It's something you do because it's required. Reinventing yourself isn't a switch, it's a process. And that process demands consistency. It demands repetition. It demands that you stop trying to be intense once in a while and instead commit to being relentless every single day. The average person wants to be exceptional, but lives like everybody else. They want world-class results with part-time habits. You can't eat like everybody else, sleep like everybody else, train like everybody else, and think you're going to be anything other than average. It don't work like that. You want to be unrecognizable. Then your discipline has to be unrecognizable. Your structure has to be unrecognizable. Your habits have to be so dialed in that people don't even understand how you do it. You ever notice that when people start leveling up, folks start calling them obsessed? Good, that's the goal. Let them call you obsessed. Let them call you crazy. Let them say you're doing too much. You want to know why they don't get it, because they haven't seen what you've seen. They haven't felt what you've felt. They haven't cried in silence like you have. They haven't failed like you have. So yeah, maybe you are obsessed, but you're obsessed with never going back to who you used to be. You've got to build your life around non-negotiables. Things you do no matter how you feel, and if you don't have any, you're playing. Because real success ain't built off sometimes, it's built off every time. Every time the alarm goes off. Every time you don't feel like showing up. Every time the results aren't there yet. Every time life knocks the wind out of you, you still show up. Why? Because you built a system that doesn't depend on emotion. Some of y'all are chasing motivation like it's a drug. You're waiting to feel ready. But winners don't wait to feel ready. They make it part of their identity to move even when they're not. That's what separates the ones who reinvent from the ones who relapse. If you've got a blueprint, a routine, a way of living that sustains your hunger even when your fire gets low, then you become dangerous. Let me break it down for you. You want to get in shape. You don't need a 30-day challenge. You need to be the person who trains every day like it's part of your DNA. You want to become financially free. You don't need another course. You need to live like a soldier on a budget. Save relentlessly, study daily, and grind like your life depends on it. You want to be the best in your craft. You don't wait for inspiration. You clock in whether you feel inspired or not, because the pros show up regardless. The amateurs wait on mood, and you're not an amateur anymore. This ain't about hype. This ain't about temporary progress. This is about building a version of you that can't be shaken, because when life comes swinging, and it will, emotion won't save you, hype won't save you. Only your system will. Only your discipline will. And that's what's gonna carry you into the next level. That's what's gonna make you unrecognizable. People won't believe it's you because the you they knew couldn't keep a promise to themselves. The you they knew always needed a push, but this new you, this version, shows up without being asked. You want to change your life, then stop chasing moments and start mastering the mundane. Start doing the small things, the boring things, the difficult things every day. Because that's how you build a system that transforms you from the inside out. That's how you become unrecognizable. And when you do that, when you stop depending on motivation and start depending on mastery, that's when the world won't even know who you are anymore. Because the old you gone, pain, that word alone makes most people shrink, flinch, back away, because they've been taught that pain is the enemy, that it's something to run from, something to numb, avoid, escape. But I'm telling you the truth most people don't want to hear. Pain is the GPS to your breakthrough. The very thing you've been trying to avoid is the very thing trying to evolve you. You keep praying for growth, for strength, for clarity, but every time life hands you pain, you act like something went wrong. No, life didn't go wrong. It finally gave you the training ground to become who you said you wanted to be. Let me make this clear. You can't reinvent yourself without going through some pain. You can't become unrecognizable without being broken first, because that pressure, that struggle, that hardship, it ain't there to destroy you. It's there to reveal you. It's there to strip away the old you, to expose the cracks, to make you confront the parts of yourself that are weak, soft, lazy. Pain is a mirror, and most people hate what they see in it, so they close their eyes and pretend it ain't there. But the real ones, they stare into that mirror, they face every flaw, and they grow. You gotta stop asking why me, and start asking what's this trying to teach me, because the pain you're running from carries the lesson you need. Every failure, every setback, every betrayal, every door that closed, every night you cried, it wasn't random. It was part of the process. It was life saying, you said you want to be great. Okay, prove it. You don't get strength without resistance. You don't get power without pressure. You don't get transformation without trials. Some of y'all want the reward without the pain. You want the elevation without the struggle, but you can't skip the suffering. That's where the wisdom comes from. That's where the fire comes from. That's where the fight is forged. You think people at the top just landed there. No, they bled for it. They suffered for it. And they used that pain as fuel. They didn't run from it. They ran through it. They let it refine them, not define them. And that's the difference. Every scar you carry has the potential to be a weapon, if you use it right. But too many of y'all are hiding your scars, ashamed of them. Listen, there's power in your scars. There's testimony in your pain. You don't become unrecognizable by pretending life didn't hit you. You become unrecognizable by showing how you got back up after it did. You want to be respected. Don't just talk about success. Show me the hell you walked through to earn it. The reason pain breaks most people is because they think it's permanent. They think the storm is who they are instead of what they're passing through. But storms don't last. Wounds heal, and fire doesn't just burn, it purifies. If you let it, that's the key. You've got to let it. Don't let the pain make you bitter. Let it make you better. Don't let it close your heart. Let it open your mind. Don't let it steal your vision. Let it sharpen your focus. The people who make it, the ones who truly reinvent themselves, they don't get there because life was easy. They get there because they made a decision. No matter what hits me, I will not fold. No matter how bad it hurts, I'm going to keep moving. I'm going to use this pain. I'm going to turn it into hunger, into wisdom, into power. And once you learn how to do that, you become dangerous, untouchable. Because now the enemy can't break you with pain. He just gave you more fuel. Let me ask you, what if the pain you're feeling right now is the exact tool life is using to carve out the next version of you? What if this breakdown is actually the setup for your next level? What if the discomfort is exactly what you need to step into your calling? Because the truth is, there is no new you without going through the fire. And if you're serious about becoming unrecognizable, you've got to stop fearing the pain and start walking through it with your head up. You don't get to the top by skipping struggle. You don't build greatness by avoiding adversity. You don't grow strength by playing it safe. So if it hurts right now, good. That means something is shifting. That means you're not numb anymore. That means you're alive, you're in it, and you've got a shot to come out of this stronger than you've ever been. Pain is not punishment, it's preparation. Preparation for the greatness that's inside you. So stop fighting it, stop resenting it, embrace it, let it mold you, let it stretch you, let it teach you, because on the other side of that pain is the version of you the world won't even recognize. Reinvention ain't a moment, it's a war. It's not this one big emotional decision you make and suddenly you're different. No, it's 1,000 little battles. It's daily, it's internal, and it's brutal. Everybody sees the success. They see the results. They see the glow up. But what they don't see is the war you had to win within yourself just to get out of bed some morning. They don't see the mental fights, the doubts, the temptations, the fear whispering you're not good enough. They don't see the lazy voice begging you to hit snooze. They don't hear the lies telling you to stay small, stay safe, stay average. That war, that's the real test. And if you don't win that one, nothing else matters. You think it's the world stopping you. No, it's not. It's you. It's that internal version of you that doesn't want to change. That voice that wants comfort, wants convenience, wants validation without putting in the work. And you've been letting that version of you take control for too long. That's the one you've got to beat. That's the one you've got to wake up and fight every single day. Reinvention isn't about one big win, it's about showing up when no one's watching. It's about discipline when nobody claps. It's about grinding in silence. Suffering in private, elevating in the shadows. See, people want to change their lives, but they don't want to change themselves. You can't step into a new future with the same old habits, same thinking, same attitude. You've got to kill the version of you that keeps playing small, the version that's afraid to dream bigger, the one that chooses comfort over growth. You've got to recognize that every day you either feed the beast or you feed the coward. That's it. That's the battle. That's the choice. And nobody's going to make it for you. It's all on you. You keep scrolling looking for motivation. You keep asking for signs. Here it is. Your results are the only sign you need. If you don't like what you see, it's because you're losing the war inside. You don't need more hype. You need more honesty, real talk. You're not tired. You're undisciplined. You're not stuck. You're scared. You're not unlucky. You're unfocused. And that version of you, the one that keeps making excuses, keeps looking for shortcuts, that version has to go. It can't come with you to your next level, and I get it. Change is uncomfortable. It's scary, but it's necessary, because until you win the inner battle, nothing around you will shift. You can change cities, change jobs, change relationships, but if you don't change yourself, you'll just recreate the same problems with a new backdrop. The real transformation happens when you stop blaming everything around you and start taking ownership of what's happening within you. You want to become unrecognizable, then every day, wake up and ask yourself one question. Who do I need to become today? Not what do I need to do. Who do I need to be? That question will change your life because it forces you to show up differently. It forces you to stop reacting and start creating. It shifts your focus from outcomes to identity. And once your identity shifts, your actions will follow. The reason most people fail is because they try to upgrade their results without upgrading their character. But the truth is, your life will never rise above the standards you set for yourself. And standards come from identity, from the inner work, from deciding that certain things are no longer acceptable, that you won't tolerate inconsistency, that you won't settle for average, that you won't keep hiding behind excuses and emotions. That's where the battle is. That's where the war is won. Every morning you wake up, there are two voices in your head. One says, stay the same. The other says, level up. And you've got to choose. Every single day, no breaks, no days off. Reinvention doesn't ask how you feel, it asks what you decide. And that's the cost. You've got to keep choosing growth over comfort, discipline over distraction, purpose over pleasure, every single day. And yeah, it's hard, but that's what makes it worth it. That's what makes it real, because here's the truth. The only way to become unrecognizable is to become unavailable to the patterns that kept you invisible. You've got to make the decision to evolve non-negotiable. You've got to wake up and decide, I will not be who I was yesterday. And then prove it, not with talk, not with hype, but with action, with focus. With grit, with an unshakable commitment to becoming the version of you that your future demands. This is your war. This is your moment. And if you want it bad enough, if you're willing to fight the inner battle every day, you won't just change your life. You'll become unrecognizable.